Dzień dobry.
Dzień dobry.
Good afternoon.
Zaczynamy.
All right, let's start.
My chcieliśmy Państwu powiedzieć
We would like to tell you a couple of words about one of the best projects, actually, in my opinion, the best project I've had the chance to work in.
Pracując w ramach tego projektu,
Working within this project,
więc już bardzo
I actually resigned from my right to be a participant of this project.
Dlaczego? Dlatego, że
Every project is an innovation to me.
przystępuje do projektu,
Young people participating in a given project
jeszcze nie wie, że czegoś się nie da zrobić.
don't know that there are things impossible.
To jak rozwiązać
Every solution, every idea they have
postawią, jest tak naprawdę rozwiązaniem.
is doable.
I powinniście też tak do tego podchodzić i
And I think that we should apply that perspective, that approach.
Jeżeli chodzi o mnie i o projekt, który tutaj specjalnie Państwu
The project Seoul for Tomorrow
coś z niczego, tak naprawdę
brings second life
które pewnie każdy
to
posiada jeszcze w domu, gdzieś ma w magazynach.
Basiu,
floppy disk in this particular case, and here the other speaker said that you can actually touch the bag.
5 lat.
Well, we've had this project for 5 years, I think.
Spaceruję. Ale to nie jest jedyny.
And still, the bag still exists.
30 projektów
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have about 30 innovative projects
na całym świecie i pokazywać,
that operate globally,
że tak naprawdę młodzież
and that I had the pleasure to show globally,
zrobić coś
to
kreatywnego,
show that young people can do something creative and innovative,
potrafi tak naprawdę zaprezentować
and that they can present oneself be in front of an international jury.
być ambasadorem
Seoul for Tomorrow is a project that we are the ambassadors of,
takich działań.
and it introduces us into the world of innovation. Young people who took place in the who participated in the first edition of this project still continues developing their creativity. They ask for support, they take part in competitions, etc. I traveled a lot with young people.
Mieliśmy kulturę,
We visited certain places, we learned about a certain culture, but most of all, young people
albo prawie w ogóle nie możemy zrealizować w przestrzeni.
did something that cannot be executed in the classroom. They talked with adults, they exchanged experiences, they presented, they listened to arguments,
To w większości wypadków w języku obcym.
and that was in their foreign language in most cases.
No właśnie, projekt.
Now, a project. In the slide, you can also see the avatars, these people asking what, when, and how.
Dużo pytań,
Lots of questions and lots of answers.
tak naprawdę młodzież zdobywa,
What do young people get
że
during this project?
kompetencje miękkie.
Agnieszka, I think that soft skills
Dodatkowo pamiętajmy,
and skills of the future are what they get. Within this program, young people have the chance to work with ambassadors, so actually Agnieszka and myself, as well as the rest of the team involved in design thinking.
do finału czy do prototypu produktu.
What we do is finally come up with a prototype of a given project, a must-have within fashion.
Nie zależy nam na końcu.
But Seoul for Tomorrow is not about a ready-made product. It's not about the finished product. This is actually something that happens after the finishing.
Wydarzyło z grupą.
Seoul for Tomorrow is about the process.
Mocno ten projekt pozwolił im rozwinąć się, ale
And it's also about recognizing how much people can develop and deal with the problem they have. Seoul for Tomorrow is a project within which young people face challenges
i współczesny świat.
of the modern world.
To był rok, kiedy
Last year,
rozpoczęliśmy w Polsce ten
2021, was the year when we launched the project.
w tym roku. Był pierwszy raz w Polsce.
The project is actually an international one, and it's for the first time,
Zostało zgłoszonych
it's been in
138
Poland.
projektów.
138 applications were submitted.
Zdrowie, rozumiane jako zdrowie
There
fizyczne,
was,
czyli
for instance,
dobre
health
samopoczucie
as a
fizyczne,
category understood as physical well-being,
zdrowie psychiczne i rozumiane
or
jako
as mental
dobrostan
well-being,
cyfrowy.
or digital
Taką
well-being,
równowagę gdzieś tam
namely
dobre samopoczucie
balance
w kontaktach z
between
światem, który jest
the
wokół nas.
digital world
Zostało
and
zgłoszonych
the real
najwięcej
world.
projektów. O czym to świadczy?
These categories, or this umbrella category, was actually the category where most submissions were made.
Świadczy to o tym,
Perhaps
że jest to problem
it shows us that young people
różnych rozwiązań.
are faced with these problems. They seek solutions which are not easy to find.
Zgłoszenia były w ramach
33 submissions were within safety,
drogowe, ale również
understood as road safety, digital safety, etc.
i 45
And 45 submissions revolved around
w ramach klimatu.
climate.
Do półfinału proszę zobaczcie,
Semifinals
zakwalifikowało projektów w danym zakresie.
Included the number of projects that you can see in the slide, with 12 submissions
Trudno
for
je
climate
szukać takich
and 8 submissions for health.
odpowiadały uczniom.
When it comes to health, it's difficult to find solutions that would be relatable and appropriate for students, irrespective of the fact that there were many submissions.
Nie wiem, ich 8. A to są nasi finaliści.
And these are our finalists.
To uczniowie, uczennice.
The first place was taken by students from Bielsko-Podlaskie,
aplikacji, która
who
miała na celu
constructed a prototype of an app
bezpieczeństwa,
which was aimed at giving the feeling of safety and security to students who go back home when it's dark.
Uczennice zgłosili się już do tego projektu do Seoul for Tomorrow i chcieli
When these students submitted their application to Solve for Tomorrow, they weren't able to name the problem properly.
ich interesował. Co im przyszło z pomocą?
What helped them?
Życie.
Life.
Otóż jedna z uczennic
One of these students, one day,
do szkoły, do domu,
coming back from school to
wrażenie, bo
her home,
tak było.
had a feeling that she was followed.
Ona poczuła się mało komfortowo.
She felt uncomfortable and everything went well, but it worked as a trigger, as an inspiration to what they could do within the project.
Nam tak naprawdę zależy w Seoul for Tomorrow.
So this shows us what we actually care about in Solve for Tomorrow, because the whole process shows students
To nie jest tak, że
that they are able to do something about the problems. It's not that they sit and are helpless and not capable of having a real influence on the state of affairs.
Bardzo ważne, jak nie najważniejsze.
This is something very important in the project. Second place in the climate category was taken by the High School Academy on carbohydrates versus CO2.
Fantastycznie pokazujący, jak
Sorry, seaweed versus CO2.
w tym, żeby powietrze nasze było czystsze.
So actually their project revolved around a cleaner air. In third place was taken by a project that revolved around composting and that revolved around fertilizers on our earth and the role on the earth. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are heading towards a new edition of the competition related to integration when it comes to the topic of prospective applications. Integration stands for the integration and inclusion of local communities of the excluded, as well as projects related to to the Ukrainian minorities,
w związku z sytuacją, która się dzieje w
minority,
kraju.
excuse me,
Więc wszystko to,
here in Poland.
to jakby życie nam pokazuje, z jakimi wyzwaniami gdzieś tam te wyzwania
So it's all
stoją przed
about
nami.
the challenges that we are facing.
Adoptując je na potrzeby naszego projektu, próbujemy...
Speaking about our projects, this is what we are trying to do, and we would like to encourage you, dear teachers and
nauczycielki, drodzy edukatorzy, drogie
dear trainers, educators,
zróbcie z nami razem i ze swoimi uczniami i uczennicami.
together with your students and with us, do engage in very valuable activities. Let's educate, not necessarily behind the closed doors of schools, but also outside. So let's go outside the school and let's do something good together. Join us in Seoul for tomorrow.